Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and I'd like to welcome you if you're new. I'm going to fix some late lunch for my son and myself, and what I'm planning to cook is Louisiana fried chicken. I'm going to be fixing some yellow rice, and I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Japanese sweet potatoes. I had never heard of them, and my daughter-in-law and I were in Whole Foods down in Jacksonville, Florida the other day when I had to go to the doctor, and I saw these, and I love sweet potatoes, so I thought I'm going to try these. So I bought two, and I'm going to bake those, and guess what this is? Zucchini out of my garden. I am so excited. I have actually picked two this size, and things are starting to really grow out there. So I'm going to stew this with some onion, and I'm going to get started now. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is get my rice going. I have the potatoes in the oven to bake, and so I'm going to prepare my yellow rice now. I'm going to put 2 cups of water into my pot, and I want to get this to boiling. Okay, my chicken, I have washed it or rinsed it, and I'm going to pat this dry. You would want to trim off any excess fat that you may have on your chicken, and I'm frying the chicken quarters, the legs and the thighs. The eggs that I'm going to use to dip my chicken pieces in, they are also at room temperature. You want those to be at room temperature as well as your chicken. That way it doesn't reduce the heat when you're cooking it. If you put cold chicken in your grease, it's going to make the temperature drop. You want your grease to be 360 degrees. I will start heating my grease up. I've already got that in a pan. Okay, the water is starting to come to a boil for the rice. And so now to this, I will be adding 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 cup of yellow rice. This rice already has the seasonings in it. And so I will cover and reduce my heat to low and let that simmer. It'll cook for 20 to 25 minutes or until the liquid is absorbed. And so I've got that turned down now. I'm going to start heating my grease up. Like I said, I want that to be 360 degrees, but in the meantime now, I'm going to prepare my mixtures that I'm going to be dipping my chicken in. Okay, these are very small yard eggs. Since I'm only doing 4 pieces of chicken, I'm using 3 very small yard eggs. It would probably be the equivalent of 2 large eggs. And I'm going to add to that 1/4 of a teaspoon of this Tony's Creole seasoning, 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of Old Bay crab boil. And I'm going to whisk that all together. Okay, now I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 3/4 of a teaspoon of this Tony's Creole seasoning. I want 1 teaspoon of Chef Paul Prudhomme Magic Poultry seasoning, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of the crab boil. Okay. And now I'm just going to take these in my hands and just coat them really well with this seasoning. Okay, looks coated pretty well. Okay, now I'm going to prepare the flour mixture that I'm going to be dipping the chicken in. I've got my stove is on, and I'm heating up the oil to cook it in. But to start with, I'm doing mine in a Ziploc bag because I'm only doing 4 pieces of chicken. If I were doing a larger amount, I'd probably put it in a bowl with a lid, but I'm just going to use this Ziploc bag. I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour to my bag. Okay, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of the Tony Chachere's Creole season, 1 teaspoon of the Chef Paul Prudhomme Poultry Magic seasoning. Okay, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1 teaspoon of the crab boil, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground thyme. And I'm going to close up my bag and I'm going to shake this all together really well. I'm going to check the temperature of my oil. Okay, my oil is about to get to the temperature that I want it to be, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dip my chicken and get it prepared. So I'm going to dip it into the egg mixture really good, and I'm going to drop it in and give it a shake. I want it all coated really well. Okay, my oil is at 360 degrees, and so I'm going to go ahead and place my chicken into the oil and let it start cooking. I'm going to only cook 2 pieces at the time. I don't want to overcrowd it. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes, and so I'm going to take my chicken up and I'm going to drain it on this pan that I have a cooling rack on. So I'm just going to set it there. And then I will put the other 2 pieces in. Now while this one is frying, I'm going to prepare my zucchini and squash and get those cooking. They will only take just a few minutes to cook. Okay, while the chicken is finishing frying, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my zucchini and onion. And the way I do mine, I just do about a 1/4 inch slice. And now I'm going to slice a yellow onion. I'm going to slice a side off of it so that I can turn it down flat. And then I want to slice this thinly. And I'll add this to my zucchini. I'll add just a little bit of water to this. I'll add about 1/4 cup of water, just enough to kind of just steam it. Add some salt, pepper, and some olive oil. Probably about, I would say about a teaspoon and a half of olive oil. Okay, I've put the zucchini and onion on the stove, and I've got my burner on high. I'll bring it up to a little bit of a boil. Then I'll turn the heat down, and then I'll put the lid on it. It won't take me just a few minutes to cook while my chicken finishes cooking. Okay, my zucchini is starting to boil, so I'm going to put the lid on it, turn the heat down, and let it cook for a few minutes. Okay, my zucchini are done, and so now I'm going to take and plate up my rice, which is done, and my sweet potatoes. Okay, and so here you have it. Louisiana style fried chicken, yellow rice, zucchini fresh out of my garden, and Japanese sweet potatoes. If you'll notice, the sweet potatoes are not orange like most sweet potatoes are. They are supposed to be this color. My chicken turned out pretty well, but I think I almost had my oil too hot. But anyway, it's going to be really good. I'm going to plate up some, have a taste test for you, and then I'll close out this video. Okay, let's plate some up. Start with the rice, my zucchini and onions, my sweet potato, and of course a delicious piece of fried chicken. I want to add a little bit of butter to my sweet potato. That looks delicious. Okay, now for my taste test. I'll try the rice. I love yellow rice. I don't know why I don't fix it more often than I do. Now this sweet potato, I have never had a Japanese sweet potato. So here we go. Oh my stars. That's almost like eating a candy yam. It is so sweet and so creamy, very creamy, smooth texture. And it's really delicious. My zucchini, fresh out of my little raised garden bed. I am so proud. And so here we go. They are delicious. Now I'm going to try the chicken. Oh man, nothing no better than fried chicken. That is delicious. And the seasoning gives it just a little bit of a bite, which I love. Crunchy. And so very good. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your joining me today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, won't you please subscribe? Give me a thumbs up to show that you enjoy my video. Leave me a comment and click the bell. And until the next time, this is Bebop saying, may the Lord bless and keep you and your family safe. And until we meet again, you have a great day, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.